Hi everybody, welcome. I think we are on live. I'm just gonna make sure. Yep, here we go. Okay, let me just click a few buttons here. I have a slightly different setup. I have new lighting, so hopefully that will help. It looks a little bit better. And I'm figuring out, I have a couple questions out there on how to make it a little bit smoother so I don't have to twist my phone around. So I'm learning about that. So new things to come in the new year. Happy 2022. I wrote in my email today, it sounds like the year 2022 sounds so far away. Hi Tracy, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Glad you got it this week. Yeah, so I think we are good. I was just saying that I have new lighting and hopefully I'll figure that out. And it actually gives me a little bit more space on my table, so that's good. And I'm figuring out how to flip from a headshot to my tabletop, but that's hopefully for next week. All right, so let's get started. So today we're going to talk about Sale-a-bration. Today is the first day of Sale-a-bration. Yay! So we're excited. So all during January, all during February, there's a sale called Sale-a-bration, and it's a special catalog, and I can show you the inside now. Yeah, February 4th. Yep, just making sure. And so we, everything in this catalog, and I'll flip it down in a second and show you, is for free. So with either a $50 order or a $100 order, you have different choices. There's no limits. If you got $300, you can pick out like 6 things. So it's kind of cool. And then the new mini catalog starts today. So we're very excited about that. Look how kind of like, it's pretty thick. So it's a happy day in the stamping community world. So I'm gonna flip the camera down, but we're gonna make some cards. Oh, there's lighting with this new Awesome Otters stamp set and the marbleized paper, which I love. All right, so let me just move a few things here, and I'm gonna flip down. Don't get dizzy. And again, hopefully this is the last week that I have to do this. So let me just see where I am on my, okay, now I gotta flip around. Okay, and then I will line up my paper. It's a slight delay. There we go. All right, the light, all right, so that needs to go up. Or actually, this can go down. I'm telling you, I need to watch some people on how they do their videos. And there we go. Okay, I think we're as good as we're gonna get here. Okay, so so this is, let me actually make this off to the side. This is the Sale-a-bration catalog. I mailed out a whole bunch of them, and so if you have ordered from me within the last year or you've recently made a request for a catalog, yours should arrive between yesterday and Saturday, depending on where you live. But I can show you the inside. So there's lots of, even if you don't like all the things, you can still get ideas for layouts because they coordinate. They show some of the things that are in either the mini or the annual that go along with some of these products. So we have a nice pineapple set. This is the daffodil paper. I'm just trying to see if there's slight glare. I'll have to figure out how that works. Okay. Still learning, still learning. It's a cute little catching butterfly set that will coordinate really nice with our butterfly dies if you wanted some stuff on the background. This is a fun coloring set, the driving by with the 3 vehicles. I think that could be super fun. I love the rainbows. I just love this paper. So you're going to see me doing a whole lot with it. I think I showed a few samples already. It just makes me happy. And then there's a rainbow bundle in the mini catalog that goes with it with all the dies and the stamps. And then this is actually what we're going to focus on today. So this marbleized paper that I'll show you, have 6 colors. What do you get? You get 48 sheets, 8 each of 6 double-sided designs. And then this Awesome Otters stamp set. So we're going to use both of these today. And they give you some samples here, but we're going to make something a little bit different. This is free with a $100 order, but you get the stamp set and the paper. So it's a really sweet deal. So like if you spent $100, say, you could choose like this one and this one, or any of the others, or you could choose this one because it has the $100 order, $100 mark. I think there's one more. Yeah, this one too. This stamp set, there's tons of stamps in it. So that's a $100 qualifier as well. And then, might as well go over the whole catalog. If you place a $300 order, which is huge but awesome, you can get this beautiful stamp set for free. Or if you could pull some orders together, have a party or have a couple friends order a few things, you can pull them together, and then that could be a qualifying order for that. And then, of course, there's a joining opportunity. And I would love for you, each of you, to join our team. We call my team the Wicked Stampas. We originated from the Boston area, but we have expanded now coast to coast, as north as Michigan and as south as Georgia. I think that's as far south as we go, in California, Oregon. So anyways, but we still call ourselves the Wicked Stampas. But if you purchase the joining kit for $99, you choose up to $125 of any products, but you pay $99. You also can choose 2 stamp sets from these 2 catalogs, any 2 stamp sets for free. You get a few other things included in your kit. You get some catalogs to share. You get a free paper pumpkin kit, so you can kind of see what paper pumpkin's about and start crafting right away. And I think I said free shipping, but you get free shipping. So it's a great join opportunity during the month of January and February. Okay, so let's get down. This is what you guys wanted to see. So aren't these so cute? We're gonna make 2 of them, but I'm gonna show you 3. Make sure my thing is crooked. Let's see. And my words are still backwards. I am working on that. I don't know why that happens. But I have questions out to answer that. So these are the 3 otters. You get 3 otters in the stamp set. So I did 1 of each. We're going to make these 2 cards, and I'm going to color them differently just to show you some coloring techniques. And then this one just shows you how to use up some of the scrap marble paper, because it's so nice you want to use every bit of it. So actually, let me show you. Happy New Year, Mary. Sorry, my little delay. I need to keep looking at these comments. Thanks for joining. This is the marbleized paper. And so, like you said, you get 6 colors. I forget what I could guess. But anyways, you can see there's a yellow, there's a pink. I'm not saying the right words. I forget what colors they are. Gray, blue. And then, so I think the marbleized, they're all the same. Let's see if they're the same pattern. Oh, they're different. Okay, I didn't realize this. They're different on each sheet, but each color is the same pattern, but each sheet, each different, they're different. But then you get like marble, like the granite, not granite, but you know, the stone marble on the reverse side. So you get these marbleized look, then the marble. And what I think is really cool is on the gray, it looks like my bathroom floor. I could take you in there and you could see, but it looks exactly like my bathroom floor. That Carrara marble. So that's going to be some fun things to make with it. So this is that paper anyways that we're going to use. Alrighty. And just getting this trimmer out because we're going to need that in 1 second. All right. Debbie, yes. Isn't the paper beautiful? I think it was last week. So now I'm getting all mixed up. I used this, oh, I know what it was, for my new Facebook ad. And I sent it out to my emailing list, so everyone should have had the opportunity, but I made a shaker card with it. And it's just beautiful. I like it too. Okay. And so the other cool thing is, look at, I have postage stamps and otters in the snow. So otters must be trendy. This is the first I've seen of them, really, the stamps, actually both stamps. But I'm wondering if there's going to be a trend for otters this year. But they're just really cute. So you can get some stamps to match your cards to send in the mail. I've already used a few, but I'll get some more. All right. So like I said, we're going to make 2 different cards. I just want to separate my paper here. And I'm trying to be neat. And these are the 2 we're going to make. We'll start with this guy. So I'm going to start with this one, although the dimensions are the same for both. All the layers are exactly the same. And the reason why you have so many layers and some are wider and some are thinner is this is 6x6 paper. And I normally, if you use a layer, you know, you cut it 4 by say 5 1/4 or 3 3/4 by 5, you know, for like that layer. But then I'd have like this, not, I don't want to say unusable, but not as usable strip of paper. Like that's my problem with 6x6, because like, look at, here's the one card, and then like, I just think there's some waste. So I try to think of a way to be better. So what I came up with this card was we're only going to use 3 inches. So I'm just going to cut this at 3 inches. So at least now we get 2 cards out of it. So that's that. And then I'm going to trim it. I don't remember what I trimmed it at. At 4 1/2. So actually, to decide which pattern I want. So I'm going to have this little piece left over, and this little piece left over. All right, so these 2 are going to go on the card fronts in a second. And then I have these little, so it's a little bit less waste than if I just used it for 1, but that's where I came up with this. So what is this? This is 1 1/2 inches. So I just cut this at, I thought I did it at 7/8. Oh, I guess they're at 1. They all, that's 7/8. Oh, they're not all exactly the same. I thought I cut them in half before, but I guess not. So let's see. You could cut it in half, so you get 2 thinner. So these are slightly thinner than what I used. Or you could do this one at 7/8, and then you just kind of scatter them about. So I'm just going to do them. What did I say it was? So I'm not going to do this card right now, but I'll do another one of these with the thinner strips. My cutter's a little sticky. And then you can just alternate them, so you don't want to really come up with the same pattern. You want to have them different. Does that make sense, I hope? And then I just put them on here, and that's it. So then there's no waste. Because that's my one problem with the 6x6 paper. All right, but this fixed it. All right, so I have my Night of Navy, and that's a regular card base, and I scored it. And then I have, this is Balmy Blue, because that's the color that they use in here too. I looked, it says it on the back of the pack. So that's by 5 by 3 3/4. And then I did another layer with Misty Moonlight, and so that was a 1/4 inch smaller. So that, let's see, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then I embossed this one with one of the new folders, and I know I've used that on a past live, the Hive folder, and I love it because you can really use both sides, and they have totally kind of different looks. Okay, so let's get going. And actually, I embossed, this is for the other card. I did this one in, it's not a new one, but it's in the annual, it's the Subtle folder. And it, hopefully you can see, it is just a subtle texture, but sometimes it's nice, like you just want a little texture. So that's for that one. All right, so we're gonna color these guys. One we're gonna use colored pencils, and one we're going to use blends markers. So the colored pencils I'm doing on shimmery white cardstock, because I find whenever you want to color, you really, I think it's better on the shimmery white or watercolor. So we're going to use, Stampin' Up! Has watercolored pencils. They have 2 packs, so I think this is a mixture of colors. One pack I think has 16 colors and one has 12. I have both in there all mixed together, so I kind of forget which is which pack. But I kind of pulled out my blues. I'm actually only going to use 2 of the blues. And my browns, one's Cajun Craze and one's Early Espresso, and black for the nose. So those are the colored pencils I'm using. I'm also going to use a blender pen, And I haven't used these in a really long time. But you're going to see they work great with colored pencils. So I'm going to do that. And then whenever you introduce a blender pen or water, you want to use Stays On Black. The Memento will run. So this is only for the blends marker, so we'll use that in a minute. So Stays On works with the blender pens or the water pens. I could use either of these two with watercolor pencils. Today I just decided to use a blender pen because I haven't used it in a long time. But either of those work with a Stays On Black. I know sometimes people get a little mixed up, so hopefully that helps. All right, so let's get going. So we're going to use this guy. And I did a little Google search, and for just the name of the stamp set, the, what's it called? Awesome Otters. And there's not tons of samples out there. I'll post this one, so this will be out there soon. But there are a few, and there was one card that used this paper. And so you'll see, I didn't really copy it directly, but it certainly influenced the card. And that's what I do. I kind of look for ideas, and then I kind of make them my own. Okay, so that is that. This Stays On. I wish you could smell it. It's like a almond extract smell. It smells nice. I used to use it a lot more than I do because we didn't have the blends markers, but now that we have them, I tend to use the markers more. All right, so I'm just going to do a little coloring, excuse me. So I'm going to just do the inside, I don't know what to call it, the inside of the otter, Cajun Craze, which really looks more kind of brownish or light brownish. And I'm not coloring perfectly because it doesn't matter. And then for the outside of the otter, maybe his, I need to learn some animal terminologies. Maybe it's his pelt or her pelt. Doing the early espresso. Again, not coloring perfectly. And then for the water, I think this is Coastal Cabana. Well, that one's, I guess it's Bermuda Bay. I'm going to do these little raindrops, or splash drops. And then I'm just going to lightly kind of color. I think some of these need to be sharpened. Okay, so again, just like nothing spectacular in my coloring. This is Night of Navy, so I'm going to go back, kind of mimic the waves here. Let's see. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining. I'm doing coloring. I know you like to color. So I'm coloring two ways. So right now these are the watercolored pencils. And then we're going to color with the blends markers. So here's my coloring. Again, it's just okay coloring. The magic happens with these blender pens. You get 3 in a pack. Actually, I should show you where they are because they don't look like much in the catalog. Sometimes these tools don't really look like much. You kind of have to know what they are. Let's see. I don't even know what page they're on. They're on the coloring page. So here they are. Doesn't look like much, right? Number 10. Blender pens. You get 3 pens in a pack for $12. They will last you forever as long as the caps are on. Mine are really old. My tip is just starting to kind of dull, but they last forever, so they are a good thing. And you can even see my tip is a little stained a little bit. And sometimes I just run it just to make sure that there's no color on it, but it's just staining and that's fine. So, oh, I forgot to do his nose. Here we go. So I'm going to start with the lighter color, and I'm going to do like little circles. Just over the color. You don't want to totally saturate it because it could pill the paper, but that's enough. But do you see how kind of smoothed out the coloring? You really don't see those white marks anymore. So because this is a lighter brown than this one, I'm not even going to bother to wash it off. I'm just going to go right back over. This one you can kind of see the difference. See how it's blended together? They are like magic pens. They were one of the first coloring tools I learned. Oh, I could tell you, I've been a demonstrator for 15 years. I wrote that in my message today. And this is one of the first things I learned how to do. All right, so it looks so much better. So now I'm just gonna run it, because I didn't color too dark with a pencil, so it's not too much ink left over. And I'm just gonna go back on those little splash drops. And then I'm gonna go, I tend to do it in circles, but you don't have to. But I think it kind of blends it nicely. And this one I'm going right over both the blues because I kind of want them to blend together. And kind of smooth out the edges, although I think that will get punched out. There you go. So that is a little coloring tip with these colored pencils and the blender pen. So then I'm just gonna run it till it runs clear and it's cleaned off for the next time. There are two tips, they're actually identical. So with the 3 pens, you really get 6 tips for $12. It's really, it's like a magic pen. They're really kind of cool. All right, so now I'm just, whoops, I just dropped it. I'm going to use my punch. I realize they don't even sell circle punches anymore, but you could use any circle punch. You can use the circle dies. You could use another die. It was just easier for me on camera to punch that out. So there we go. So now we can put this card together. I think this was this one. Real quick here, and then I'll do the other one. This has tons of texture with that Hive embossing folder, so you just want to make sure if you use the glue, you're fine. If you're using a tape runner, just make sure you have enough adhesive on there because of all the bumps and the grooves. The tape will only stick to like the closer surface, so all those grooves, you wouldn't have any adhesive on there, if that makes sense. All right, tell me what you think. You'll have to tell me what you like better. If you like the watercolor look better or the marker. I shouldn't say the marker, the blends, because we do have markers too when we're done. All right, so then that's just gonna go on with dimensionals. Pop that guy up. And I already, hopefully I can find it, I already colored the birthday hat. And I already stamped, I have to find it. Oh! I'm like, it looks so plain. It actually looks kind of cute like that too, without it, but my point was to use the paper. But you can do it totally without the paper. Peel that off and put that on. Thank you, Mary. I think he or she is quite adorable as well. I really think today's the first day that this has been available for non-demonstrators. So, oh, look at, I didn't even cut that. Right, that's all right. I really think you're going to see a lot of samples of these otters. I'm just putting just 2 more on here because those are probably like half sticky. I can't believe I forgot to put on my fun paper. That looks better. There's the hat. I already colored it and used the blender pen. Let's stick the hat on top. And I already did it's birthday time. So what I like to do is, so I'm going to put it on this raised surface. Look, I stamped on both sides because I made a mistake. I have to make sure I get the right one. I'm going to put a dimensional on the part that's going to overhang, and I'm just going to put a little glue on that part. So the glue will stick. So it turns out it becomes level. That's kind of what my point is. So it's level. And there we go. I'll put white paper on the inside. I haven't done that yet. But those are the 2 little otters with the watercolored pencils. I think she or he is adorable as well. All right, I'm going to trim this paper because apparently I was off a 1/4 inch. Discovered it when it was already glued down. Okay, so the next one, again, has those same exact layers. Yeah, has the same layers, but we're going to use, here he is, the blends markers. So you definitely can see this is much more of a watercolor look, and then that's more of like a painted or a, you know, a marker look. So for that one, I'm needing, here we go. White paper, and I actually gonna show you that in a second, why I have that, but it's kind of muddy looking. Oh, the other thing, I have like tons I want to tell you guys. When I clean stamps, when I use the StazOn, because this is like a permanent alcohol-based ink, I tend not to use my chamois. You could, but it's not really going to clean it off because this is just water, and water's not going to color off the permanent ink. So I kind of reverted back to what I used to use before those chamois came out, is the Stamp and Mist, what do we even call it? The Stamp and Mist cleaner. So it comes with two sides. Again, it has a nice smell. It's bringing back memories because this is what we used to use. I actually colored, it's hard to see, but there's like little water droplets on this one, and there's a sun on this one, so a wet and a dry. I colored it blue so I'd see it better. So I always spray this side to wash it off, and it does take off most of the StazOn, and then the dry, and then it's done. It also kind of conditions your stamps, whatever's in it, makes them clean and makes them good. And then look at, I just sprayed on my blue paper. All right, here we go. Now we're going back. I'm gonna take this stamp off and find my set, and we're gonna swap out stamps. We're gonna use this guy. So he does fit on the D block on the diagonal. I say he, but it's kind of, call it a she. And nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong ink. So I'm gonna wash it again. It should still have some cleaner on it. Do you guys do that? Use the wrong ink? I do it more times than I want to tell you. All right, so we want to use the Memento to go with the blends markers. Okay, so Memento goes with the blends markers. You can use either ink as straight black, but if you're going to use the markers, you definitely want to use Memento, because if you use the StazOn, it bleeds, and it doesn't look good. You don't want a runny or a blurry coloring. There we go. All right, we're going to use that actually again in a second. So I'm going to color. So the blends markers have two tips. A brush tip and more of a writing tip, or a fine tip. So you can use, I'm going to show you on the darker color, actually you'll see it better. I tend to use the brush tip. It's more like a paintbrush, and I enjoy painting. I find I actually have decent control with the brush, but some people might think it's too wide. So you can use the other tip, or you can outline, which I'll do in a second. You can outline and then color in too. I also rotate my paper, because that way I can kind of see the line on here on the left side, whereas instead of like crossing over. So the blends markers, what I love about them is you can keep layering color, so it'll get darker and darker. Again, you'll see it better on the darker color, but when you color, sometimes you see like lines. The lines disappear. They're cool. So anyways, the what's this? The fine tip, you could outline around and then color in. What I've found, I just want you to see. I'm gonna color in the face with the fine tip, and then I'm gonna go back, and I find it's lighter. Could be just my marker, but so it gives you kind of more colors in the one pen too. And again, you can go, see how much lighter it is? You can go back over to make it darker. There's a lot of fun things you can do with these guys. For here, we're just really just doing straight coloring. We're not really doing any blending. I love to color. My daughter, I got her, she's 19, but I got her a coloring book for Christmas, and she's been happily coloring her way. And she's been using crayons, which is, I don't want to say funny, but she's actually a very good artist. I thought she would have used her nice pencils, but she's been using crayons. So anyways, you can create shading by going over more and more. And I'm going to use the light. I found the lighter green worked better for the fish. So this tip is kind of dying. So I'm going to actually use this tip. So you want to color lightly because you don't want to, the tips can bend. And then it's no fun coloring with a bent tip. So you just want to color kind of lightly. All right, so there we go. Oh, and his nose, her nose. I'm just doing a gray. Okay, so I'm not going to cut it out for you because I already cut one out. But what I did want to show you is, so this is just regular basic white cardstock. I know there are some people who will, I don't know how, because you're going to see, like, this is the shimmery white that we used with a watercolor that works really nice with a watercolor. But look at the difference. The crispness is gone. Like, it bleeds together and it just, I don't know. I don't like it with the shimmery. I like it with the basic white. But you can use any paper you want. You can even color on dark cardstock too. Like if you had like a crumb cake or, you know, a lighter color, the colors will come out. So there's lots to play with. All right, but I already cut this guy out. I'm putting this one together because I want to show you something. Hopefully I will remember before. Actually, I'm just going to show you now so I don't forget. Nope. Okay, here's the one I'm making. So you see how there's these black lines? I'm going to stamp directly on my paper. Kind of where I want them. So I'm getting those lines, but then I'm just going to put on top. So even though I cut, where is it? When I cut this one out, I just cut those lines off, but I stamped it again just so they're there because it shows the movement, so I like it. The other thing I wanted to show you is both on this one and the Happy Birthday, I found that there's a lot of rubber on here. You can cut that excess rubber off with your scissors. No big deal, just cut them. We used to cut stamps when I first started out. They all came, I don't know if you remember or if you were around then, they all came, they weren't easy to punch out. You know, now they have like, you just kind of perforated or something. You had to cut them with, we had special scissors that were awesome scissors. And here we go. So go ahead, like if you need to trim your stamps, go right ahead. They're your stamps. All right, so again, this is that Misty Moonlight on top of not Bermuda Bay, on top of Balmy Blue. And this is that marbleized paper. I think today is turning into a long Facebook Live. Oh yeah, it's already 3 o'clock. That's okay. My daughter took herself to the dentist, so I don't even have to worry about it. Okay, so I'm gonna use dimensionals, and these ones are attached, so I'm just gonna cut them. And now I can line it up right where the image was, like that. And I already cut out "You Are Utterly Awesome." It's gonna go there. It looks cute by itself, depending on how you're gonna use it. You could stamp directly on the paper. I almost did that, but then I didn't know. I thought of it after I glued on my sample. And so I just put on the white here. And then, look at these fun jewels. So actually, I can tell you, so because I've been, this one's getting old, I have to replace it. Because I've been a demonstrator for 15 years this month, I thought we should celebrate. And we can't celebrate, unfortunately, in person. So I am offering anyone who places a $75 or more order with me in January will get some crystal, those are quotes, crystal, either these ones or there's another pair, another set, gems from me as a celebration because Crystal is the 15th anniversary. So that's what I thought we would do. All right, so these are the 2 cards, and then let me grab that other one that I made with those scraps. All right, move stuff out of the way here. And don't forget about the otter stamps. Okay, we're going to cover that up because you can't even read it. So tell me which do you like the blends markers? These 2 are done with the blends markers. Or do you like the watercolor look? Are you not sure? I'm trying to think what other coloring. There's lots of coloring. You could use chalks and I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can color, but I like them both. I like them both. I'm going to let you decide which one you like. Okay, so as a wrap up, let's see. Sale-a-bration starts today. So, lost my catalog. Here it is. So, anything in this catalog is free with either a $50 or a $100 order or increments. And remember, if you place a $75 order in January, I will gift you some crystal gems as a thank you and to celebrate my anniversary. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the paper share. The paper share deadline is today. So if you want the paper share, go on my blog because it's written all about mailsomethingpretty.com. There's pictures of all the papers. I took photographs of them all so you can see them. And actually this paper is included as a bonus because it's Sale-a-bration, so you can get some extra paper for free too. Just trying to remember what I wanted to tell you about January, but I think that's it. Sale-a-bration, paper share, and the joining offer, and that might be it. Okay, let's see what you guys wrote. I love them all. Thank you, Susan. I like them all too. And Debbie likes them all too. You're very welcome. I'm trying to do Facebook Lives every Tuesday at 2:30 or whatever time it is for you. It's 2:30 for me. And so you can join me every week. And so if you have suggestions or things you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I'll try to think of things that I think would be good for you, but it's nice to know what you like. Okay, I'm going to clean up my space, make a cup of tea, and maybe have a cookie. All right, have a great day. Happy New Year. Thank you very much for joining me live or on the replay, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye-bye.